Being's knowledge is infinite, and when I'm able to let go of the mind and fall into a knowing, not so much a knowledge, a knowing of my true being, that knowing expresses itself through my form, and it has an intelligence that you can follow because we trust the mind very much, but sometimes to the extent that we miss the natural flow of being. And being has an intelligence that's much more sensory, much more, in the body, and just life, being life. And it has its purpose, it has a flow that if you follow it, you will see that it has an immense intelligence. It knows where to go. And sometimes we put on a pedestal like great athletes or people who accomplished a lot in the world. And sure, I've tried the ego to the extent where I was almost the best in everything that I did, but there was still a lot of separation and ego and suffering in that. And only when I discovered my true being, I was able to let go of the mind, attempt to define reality, to grasp and to push. And when those two things, grasping and pushing away, are just being relaxed, what tends to happen is that you just discover being. And being has a different quality. It has an intelligence that's much more of a knowing, not a knowledge of the mind, a knowing, an inner knowing. And that knowing pushes you to know. And you know when you don't know. Meaning, knowing comes when there is no knower, when there is no knowledge, then there's just knowing. And you know what to do, you know what to say in the moment. It has an intelligence that's just infinite, because being is infinite. You are infinite. One aspect of you is infinite. And if you trust that, it has such an intelligence. And we put the mind too much on a pedestal, especially in the West. And if you can relax that push and pull tendency of the mind, you might discover that being is not dumb, being is not stupid in any way. Being has an intelligence that's much more in the moment, much more sensitive to the needs of the moment, not so much of the ideals, of the projections of the mind that how the moment should be, but how the moment actually is, and how, what can I do about it, so to speak? What can I follow? What can happen in that place, right? So it's just so wonderful to have this new orientation, the orientation of being. And you can try, every day is an opportunity to try. It's not like I need to arrive at a finish line and now I'm enlightened and it's all over. I think it's very sad to see it that way, very arrogant as well, because it's much more fun when you just try. Just become curious about this being, because it's yourself, and you can be curious about this and wow, how is this unfolding? What's happening here? The power that it gives is much more subtle. It's not a egoic power. It's very smart in itself. It's not something that's stupid. It knows what to do. It knows what to say in the moment. It's very smart. Not smart in the mind sense. It's more a feeling, sensing smartness. That if you follow that, you'll see immense intelligence. And that's the intelligence of being.